Hello everyone, welcome back to another video, and in this one we are testing the GeForce RTX 3070 Ti in Marvel Spider-Man 2, and we are using the Asus ROG Strix model of the card, the OC variant, and here are all the specs of the GPU. We are on the latest NVIDIA driver 572.16, and we are on GDDR6X 8 gigs from Micron, and we have resizable bar enabled inside BIOS as well. Over here in Task Manager, we have the Intel Core i7-13700K CPU as always. For memory, we have 64 gigabytes of DDR5 6000 MHz CL36, and for MSI Afterburner, we have no overclock supplied. Everything is set to stock settings. So let's get inside the game and check out the frame rates. So here we go, guys. We're gonna start it off at 1080p resolution, and this is the launcher settings window, which I'm gonna show you, and we're gonna use DLAA at first. You don't need to use TAA because DLAA looks way better in this game, and you lose like 1 FPS, which I've already tested it out. And we are gonna use DLSS later on, and also frame generation. And for settings, we're gonna use the very high preset, and I'm gonna max it out, which is basically this setting, the texture filtering. We're gonna set it to 16x, and it's gonna be maxed, except the ray tracing part, which we will test it out after a while. And for FOV, I have set it to 8. Motion blur, film grain, I have turned those settings off, and vignette and CA is also turned off. So here we go, guys, at 1080p. Let's test this out now with the DLAA native 1080p resolution. And we can't even get 60 FPS, unfortunately, with the 3070 Ti at 1080p. And we are not even using ray tracing. I wonder what will happen when we turn on RT. It's probably gonna give us like 20 FPS, I imagine. And it's like a stuttery mess right now already. There's a lot of stutters going on. Let's take these goons out quickly. Yeah, it's very laggy. I don't think this is gonna be a playable experience like this. Oh, yes. I really like this combat of Spider-Man games. And I also want a new Batman game, a new Arkham game, not a VR one. Let's go. I can't remember the controls, honestly. Ooh, we died. And after dying, we get like 140 FPS. So yeah, this is not a playable experience. It's very like stuttery. Like sometimes it runs really good and then it starts stuttering like crazy suddenly. And look at the VRAM allocation, that's at 7.1, so we are well below 8 gigs right now. I don't know what will happen for 1440p, and for 4K I don't even know if we should test that out with this GPU in this game. Alright guys, let's move on to some quality DLSS right now. So we're gonna have to change the upscaling. What is going on? I'm gonna use my controller then. So DLSS, the game has DLSS IGTI and FSR 3.1 XESS, and I think TAA, you know. So yeah, we're gonna set it to quality DLSS, and everything is maxed out except the ray tracing settings, which are turned off for now. And we will also try with DLSS ray reconstruction. Okay, now we can get 60 FPS, but as soon as I start moving my camera, it drops to like 39 there. That's insane. And image obviously looks kind of worse now because we are... Oh, that was a huge stutter there. I don't know how Nixis did such a bad port of this game on PC. Like, they have very good track record on PC. Nixis, I really trusted them with this game. Like, each of their ports on PC were pretty good. Like Spider-Man 1, Miles Morales, and what else game they made on PC? Horizon Forbidden West. Did they make Ghost of Tsushima? I mean, did they work on that? Maybe, I guess. And even that ran pretty good as well. And what else was there? Ratchet and Clank. But this is the only worst port they have made, I think. And it's kind of sucks. Oh, also God of War Ragnarok, I think they have worked on. And that was also really great. I think the reason why this game is kind of messed up for the optimization and performance is because of all these ray tracing options and DLSS it just makes it way more complicated, I think, in my opinion, for the developers to optimize it. Because games like God of War, they don't have so many settings and options. They are like very simple, the options in their games, the graphical options, which makes it very easy for them to work upon. But at the same time, Spider-Man also had lots of settings, so even Ratchet and Clank did. And probably Horizon Forbidden West didn't have ray tracing, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. But anyways, guys, we're getting like 53 FPS average with 23 1% lows, which means, yeah, you can feel those stutters, as I said already. It's a messed up experience right now. Especially when you walk on the streets or go down or close to the streets or ground, it starts to stutter even more, as there are a lot of more objects around you, lots more people, and also the game is really heavy on the CPU. And luckily it's not really bottlenecking this GPU that much, because it was really bottlenecking my 4070 Ti Super even at 1440p with this Intel CPU. That's crazy. So since we are getting like close to 60 FPS, I mean the base FPS, I'm gonna turn on frame generation, DLSS. Sorry, it has no DLSS frame gen. Sorry, we are on 30 cities, so we're gonna have to use FSR 3.1 frame generation, which kinda is not that great compared to DLSS. And everything is at max except ray tracing, which is turned off. Let's check this out now. And now we can get that 100 FPS, and as soon as I start moving, it drops to like 80s. And yeah, straight away I can notice a lot of artifacts, especially because this is at 1080p resolution. There's lots of ghosting around the character now. But for the input latency and the input delay, I can't really feel it because I'm playing with the PlayStation 5 controller on PC. But with mouse, let's check that out. Yeah, there is a lot of delay when I use the mouse. Look at that frame time graph. Yeah, oh my goodness, that's crazy. Yeah, it only happens when you use the mouse, but with the controller, it's far better. And I think most of you are gonna use the controller, so you will be good even with FSR frame generation if you use the controller, and that is what I recommend you to use as well. Okay guys, up next, with DLAA turned on, I'm gonna change the graphics settings. I'm gonna set it to high now, and I'm gonna just increase the texture filtering to 16x. And let's check this out now, how much we can get. So now the graphics setting is set to high, and we are using DLAA. We still cannot achieve 60 plus FPS all the time. That is not good for a 3070 Ti. It's crazy to even think about. And 1% lows are still below 30. Come on, even at high I can't play this game with a 3070 Ti. I mean, it's a very good GPU, don't underestimate it. And VRAM is not a problem right now, as you can see. But yeah, on average we can still get 60, it seems like, but it does drop here and there, and those stutters are not really good. I mean, the game stutters on even the high-end GPU like the 4070 Ti Super. It stutters on that too, so what am I even saying? It's the problem with this game. And they really better fix this real quick before most people finish it off. And I don't think that's gonna happen. And for RAM usage, guys, we are sitting around 18. When I was using the very high settings, it was, I think, 20 or 19, something like that. And yeah, we can get 60 FPS average at least, but those stutters are not good. Up next, I will leave everything to high preset once again, and I'm gonna use DLSS Qlty this time. Let's check this out. Alright, now I think it will be able to stay above 90 all the time, hopefully. But those stutters are probably gonna make us drop to 50s. Yeah, there are 58. I just saw that. Whoops, whoops. I need to take the guys out with the guns first.
Hi, I'm Spider-Man, and I'll be ruining your day.
Ooh. I always forget about these abilities.
These webs are too strong.
You are right, they are pretty strong. Stronger than you. So as you just saw during fight, it didn't really stutter that much right now. Who's alive? Oh, you.
Did you guys know that the bags banks use don't have big dollar signs on them?
So it's playing pretty good with quality DLSS, but the image doesn't really look that good because it's 1080p, which is getting upscaled to 1080p as I'm using quality DLSS. But this is much more playable, I would say. And yeah, the problem with this game is the faces. Like, look at the hair. It's so messed up. Up next, at 1080p resolution using DLAA, we're going to use ray tracing preset set to high and also the graphics preset set to high. And we are not using ray reconstruction yet, which we will use after this one. And rest of the settings, here you go. As you can see down below, it says compiling ray tracing shaders, so it can actually compile shaders while you are playing the game, which is pretty nice. I haven't seen this feature in any game so far. That's pretty nice. So the shader compilation is complete right now, and let's have a swing. And it's even more stuttery mess right now. Oh my goodness, this is not playable. I don't think, guys, you can use any sort of ray tracing in this game even at 1080p resolution. And this is really unfortunate. Oh my goodness, 1% low. Yeah, this is a horrible experience. I'm gonna use ray reconstruction now. I'm gonna turn it on and use the legacy model, which is recommended for the 30 series and the 20 series GPU. That's what I'm going to use. And we're going to use the DLSS quality, which is being forced upon you as soon as you enable ray reconstruction. You have to use quality DLSS. That's the catch if you enable DLSS ray reconstruction. And also I have noticed, and many people have said, that turning on ray reconstruction causes a lot of noise in the image, visual noise. And that's actually right. There's going to be a lot of noise as soon as you turn it on. Let's find out. I mean, this is a 1080p resolution, so it's very difficult to tell. But yeah, there is definitely a lot more noise on the faces now. But I've seen it worse than this. But yeah, guys, this is unplayable. I'm just doing this for fun, like testing it out. That's it. 27. Who would play like this, right? So up next, guys, we're moving to 1440p resolution, and I'm using DLAA, and we are starting it off with low graphics preset, and these are the settings for the preset pretty much. And this is not at very low, by the way. There is another preset which is called very low. I might try that. Depends on how it runs on low. Oh, this runs pretty good, hopefully. But we will know as soon as I start swinging around. And it still stutters. Even on low settings, it's stuttering like crazy. Look at those spikes on the frame time at 1440p.
Fireworks.
But at least it is playable. I can run it with at 1440p resolution with this GPU, even though you have like 8 gigs of VRAM, but with some lower settings, you can manage it still. I think this will be playable, but these stutters, this constant stuttering, it's not so noticeable, but you're gonna notice them during fights as the frame rate is gonna drop even more. Now I'm gonna move on to medium preset, and let me quickly show you the settings for medium preset. Obviously, we are not gonna try any more ray tracing because at 1080p only it couldn't run properly, so forget about 1440p. And now with medium settings, I guess it's gonna drop below 60. Yep, pretty much gonna drop hard. I wanted to throw it on the guy with the gun. Come on, I'm so bad at this dodging. It takes a while for me to understand this PlayStation 5 controller layout. I'm really bad with it. I'm more used to the Xbox controller. Let's refresh the counter.
Fireworks.
And it's gonna still stutter. No matter what you do, it's gonna stutter.
That's illegal in New York.
But I think this is gonna be the most playable setting with good visuals as well. That is the medium settings. It looks far better than using low. And it's playable at the same time. I'm gonna quickly enable quality DLSS on top of this. And check that out. With medium preset. And look at those buildings there. They're missing textures. And I think this is the maximum distance the textures are loading with the medium preset, with the medium textures. And after that, those textures are pretty much gone. They're all muddy. But I'm really amazed by how much detailing this game has and so much going on around your surroundings, like lots of detailing and very vibrant the colors. I really like vibrant looking games. And the GPU usage is dropping, as you can see, at 1440p also. It drops to like 80s. And with medium settings, with quality DLSS, you can play it this way also if you want to stay above 60 FPS all the time. If you don't use quality DLSS, it's gonna drop down at 50 sometimes. And finally, one more setting I just found out at 1440p, which is you need to enable FSR 3.1 frame generation and DLSS quality. And then set it to high preset, which means you're going to get better visual quality overall. And with FSR frame generation, you can get above 100 FPS in this game, but there's a lot of delay there, but you can only feel it if you use the mouse. As you can see, look at the frame time graph when I move around with mouse, but with the controller it's pretty smooth. And sometimes here and there you can feel it still, but this is quite playable for a game like this. It's not bad, the input delay with the controller. It's quite manageable, but with the mouse and keyboard it's not. And in case you don't want to use high settings, you can still drop it down to medium. That will reduce the input delay a lot more. And this looks quite good at the same time. I really hope they let the 30 series GPU owners use DLSS frame gen, the 2x frame gen, not the 4x one. At least that. So it's gonna make these GPUs more viable. But then again, why would they upgrade then to 50 series? Like, and that's their selling point, right? The multi-frame gen. And finally, for 4K resolution, even though I don't think anyone's gonna play this at 4K, let me know if you do with this GPU, because it's gonna be a real struggle. So for that, we're gonna use very low preset. Everything set to the lowest setting, I'm guessing. Oh, actually not. Let's turn everything down to the actual low settings. So this one goes to low, off, low. Yeah, now it's totally low. Like very, very low, which is not there in the preset settings. So here we are, guys, at 4K resolution. Look at all those textures on the building. The texture draw distance is like crap. Oh man, let's look at all the textures down here. Look at the shadow. Wow, looks like a painting right now, which I'm playing. This is a totally low, very, very low, which we won't find in the preset. But right now we're getting 66 and it still stutters. Obviously we're using DLAA. I'm gonna have to use DLSS on top of this and then check that out. And we won't test any ray tracing. I didn't even try that at 1440p. Well, it's running quite decent. But come on, why? How can you play a single player game like this with this kind of graphics. It's complete crap. It's better to just play it at 1080p. But the thing is, it looks crisp, very sharp. The 4K resolution. Let's get on top of this and change our settings real quick. Let's quickly enable Qlty DLSS and check that out. So seems like it's gonna be way more playable now with DLSS set to Qlty at 4K, very low settings. But yeah, those textures are kind of crap. What is this? Oh, look at those interiors. We have no reflection. What's up with that reflection? Oh my goodness. That building, it's probably showing. Whoops, we're stuck in the umbrella. But I think we'll be sticking above 60 FPS now all the time with Qlty DLSS. And we are not going to try FSR frame gen at 4K because it's going to be a mess, the delay. You're going to see a lot of delay, so there's no point of doing that. So for the final settings at 4K resolution, I'm going to use DLSS performance. And I'm going to use the low preset, not the very low or very low. And I'm just kidding, there's no very low preset, which I just manually changed all the settings to low because very low doesn't do that. But now we're going to use low settings preset. And let's check it out with DLSS performance. And I hope it's gonna play a bit better. I mean, for performance DLSS. And DLSS performance looks quite good in this game. Implementation is pretty good. And the stutters are as expected. It's gonna be always there no matter what you use, DLSS performance, Qlty. But with low settings, it looks slightly better, the low preset, because we were earlier using very low.
Fireworks. Probably without a permit.
This is also playable setting at 4K and it looks visually much better than the previous one. So that will be it for this video, guys. Do leave a like if you enjoyed and if this video helped you. And also subscribe if you're new to the channel. And as always, I will catch you on the next one. Till then, take care and bye-bye.